Linnea Chrysis is officially the social outcast of the year. She is desperate for a real friend, and Edele is hitting her with some heavy wisdom. She explains that true friendship isn't a race, it's a slow burn that takes time and effort. Linnea is actually listening, which is the first miracle of the day. Edele tells her to play hard to get. She suggests waiting for a third invitation before acting like besties with someone. It's basic social strategy, and Linnea is blushing like she just learned the secret of life. She is actually starting to rely on the maid she used to bully. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Linnea realizes she would have made a total fool of herself without Edele's advice. She's wondering what Edele actually thinks of her. And honestly, that's a dangerous question to ask.
But for now, they have a weird, fragile truce as Linnea heads off to her big social engagement. As soon as that carriage rolls out, the manor staff throws a literal party.
They are breathing a massive sigh of relief because the house tyrants are finally gone. It's the rare moment of peace they all live for, and you can practically feel the collective blood pressure of the estate dropping.
The maids start gossiping, and it's getting spicy. They talk about how Linnea always returns from these parties in a vicious mood and takes it out on them. They wish she'd just stay home instead of coming back and making their lives a living hell. Talk about a toxic feedback loop. Edele isn't joining the gossip, she's actually worried. She knows Linnea's fashion sense is a disaster and that the elite are going to eat her alive for it. She's realizing that new money without old-school guidance is just a target on your back in this world. The carriage returns, and boom, nightmare mode activated. Linnea is back and she is absolutely violent. She is smashing vases, screaming at the top of her lungs, and treating her room like a demolition site. This isn't just a mood, it's a full-on breakdown. Linnea is screaming about everything, the lack of gardeners, the missing spring flowers, the general shabbiness of the house. Her sense of inferiority is exploding. She's comparing her home to the other noble manors and finding it completely trashy, and she is making sure everyone suffers with her. The other maids are literally cowering in fear. Even the head housekeeper, Madame Bohen, has turned tail and fled. It's a total leadership vacuum until Edele steps up. She bravely volunteers to enter the danger zone and clean up the mess. Our girl has literal nerves of steel. Inside the trashed bedroom, Edele finds a broken girl weeping in the dark. The bratty lady act is gone, replaced by pure, raw pain. Linnea finally spills the tea about the psychological warfare she endured. It turns out high society doesn't use swords, they use hushed whispers and side-eyes to kill your soul. Linnea explains how the ladies made her feel like every insult was actually her own fault. It's the ultimate gaslighting move. The worst part? She couldn't even find the words to strike back. She was just a sitting duck for their cruelty, and it's honestly painful to hear. Edele offers a comforting touch, which is probably the first time anyone has actually held this girl. She suggests a warm bath to wash off the stress of the day. It's a 3-day event, and Edele knows Linnea needs to find her center before going back into the viper pit tomorrow. Linnea is ready to throw in the towel. She's asking why she has to subject herself to this humiliation just for a social calendar. She's done, she's cooked, and she wants out. But Edele isn't going to let her give up that easily. Edele points out the massive contradiction. If it hurts so much, why does she keep accepting every single invite?
She's forcing Linnea to face her own motivations, and the truth is finally coming out.
It's a classic "why are you hitting yourself" intervention. Here is the real kicker: Linnea is doing it all for her brother, Laslo. She is terrified that if she stops showing up, he will look like a social outcast and people will mock him even more. She is destroying herself just to protect the mercenary king's reputation. Talk about sibling loyalty. Edele makes a bold promise: she is going to transform Linnea's social standing. She is going to teach her how to wipe the slate clean and clear her reputation. It's time for a Duchess-led makeover, and I am here for this redemption arc. While Edele is plotting a comeback, Camille Emerson and her cousin Angela are literally laughing about Linnea's ridiculous attempts to fit in.
They think her noble act is a joke, and that she is just a commoner playing with her brother's money.
The venom is real, people. Camille reveals her truly dark intentions. She only invited Linnea to act as a literal punching bag for the real aristocrat's entertainment. She views her as a pawn to be used and discarded.
It's a level of cruelty that makes my blood boil.
We end on a scene of hope in the middle of a disaster. Linnea is terrified she's making Laslo look bad, but Edele is standing right beside her. The battle for the drawing room is just getting started, and Edele is about to turn her maid status into the ultimate tactical advantage. Linnea arrives at the venue and she is repeating Edele's advice like a survival mantra. She's taking a deep breath and focusing solely on her own movements, determined to pretend everything is fine even while the crowd starts whispering. Fake it until you make it, girl. Success. She settles into her seat without a single incident.
You can practically feel her pride soaring as she realizes she's improved more in one day with Edele than in months with those expensive tutors.
The new money is finally showing some class. Following the instructions of the most elegant person she knows, Linnea decides to ignore the sneers. She's staying in her own lane and focusing on her composure. It's the ultimate power move, being so unbothered that the haters don't even exist to you. She's actually finding peace in being nonchalant.
She realizes that nodding gently and listening is way more effective than trying to talk too much and tripping over her words.
For the first time, she's actually tasting the tea instead of just drinking it. Talk about growth. Even with the looks of contempt still flying around, Linnea isn't crumbling. She's handling the pressure like a seasoned pro.
She's finally realized that she doesn't need to win everyone over. She just needs to not lose herself.
Just as she's about to make a graceful early exit, several high-ranking noble ladies approach her.
Linnea has a split second of internal panic, wondering if she's finally offended the elite.
Her heart is going batum, and the tension is real. To her absolute shock, it's not an attack, it's a compliment spree. The ladies are gushing over her dress and necklace, noting how the simple style perfectly suits her natural beauty. Camille Emerson is in the background looking like she just swallowed a lemon. The legends themselves, Madame Riccio and Dowager Lady Bringhen, step in. They point out that letting yourself shine is way better than wearing heavy, gaudy jewelry. They're basically calling out everyone else for being overdressed while praising Linnea's true refinement. The elder nobles give Linnea some boss advice: keep whoever helped you dress today very close.
They realize someone in the Chris's house has an elite eye for style.
If only they knew it was the fallen Duchess scrubbing the floors. When the champagne comes out, Linnea politely declines and announces her departure. She says she doesn't want to worry her brother, which is the perfect dutiful sister excuse. She's leaving them wanting more, which is the ultimate rule of social warfare. Viscountess Emerson is left completely stunned.
Linnea offers a cheerful farewell that is the polar opposite of the miserable girl she used to be.
The trap failed, and the Viscountess is fuming while everyone else whispers in admiration. The other guests are actually impressed. They're noting that Linnea's calm demeanor was the perfect counter to the Viscountess's habit of bullying the naive. Our girl just went from a social laughingstock to the girl of the afternoon. Back in the carriage, Linnea is reflecting on her life.
She realizes her own tastes, which her former maid Marcia called tacky, were actually the ones the elite loved.
She's finally seeing through the lies she was told by the toxic household staff.
She realizes Edele was right all along. Playing to your strengths is the only way to win.
Having faith in the former Duchess was the best decision she ever made. The respect is finally real, and I am here for this duo. Late that night, Count Laslo summons Edele to his office. The place is a mess, but the mood is serious. He has a request that is about to change Edele's entire life at the manor.
He looks like he's been thinking about this all day.
Laslo doesn't beat around the bush. He knows nobody else is better suited for the job and asks Edele to become Linnea's official personal attendant. It's a massive promotion and a total vote of confidence from the Mercenary king himself. The siblings start their usual playful bickering, and it's honestly adorable. Laslo even threatens to not let things slide if Linnea causes trouble again.
Edele is watching them with a bittersweet smile, finally seeing the deep bond they share behind all the yelling.
Hearing Laslo call his sister Lynn hits Edele like a freight train.
It reminds her of her own little sister who shared the same name.
The grief is still there, but it's turning into a fierce new motivation to protect the girl standing in front of her. Resolved and ready, Edele accepts the position. She vows to stand by Linnea's side so she won't have any more regrets in this life. Our girl is going from maid to mentor, and the capital better get ready for the storm these two are about to brew. Edele is standing in the shadows, watching Laslo and Linnea act like actual, functional siblings. It is a total culture shock for her because they clearly love and depend on each other.
It reminds her of the bond she had with her late sister Lynn, back when they were the only two humans in a house full of vipers.
We get a grim flashback to Edele's own brothers. They were basically total strangers who only cared about leading the family. While they were off playing at war or politics, Edele and Lynn were just decorative objects waiting to be sold off to the highest bidder. Talk about a toxic household.
Edele's father was the absolute worst, cornering her and screaming about her being a selfish girl for not wanting to marry a man 3 times her age.
He basically told her that her only purpose was to marry Duke Lancaster and make everyone else happy.
No wonder Edele is so comfortable in a quiet laundry room now.
Back in the present, Edele is officially done with the Lancaster and Canyon names. She is just Edele now, and her boss is rewarding her hustle. Laslo promotes her to be Linnea's personal attendant, gives her a room right next to his sister, and, the best part, a major raise. The awkward bickering between the Chris's siblings is honestly the highlight of the day. They're so worried about forcing Edele into the new job that they're practically tripping over themselves.
Edele's heart is doing Olympic-level gymnastics as she realizes she finally has a place where she actually belongs.
Edele promises to do her very best, and even Laslo has to tell her to dial it back and just moderate herself. She is leaving her past behind like a bad dream. She is neither a duchess nor a victim anymore, she is just a woman protecting the happiness she found in the most unlikely place. The manor staff are all over this new development. They are gossiping about how beautiful Lady Linnea looked and how much her attitude has improved. Word on the street is that Edele is a miracle worker. Everyone is standing our girl except for the head housekeeper, who is currently fuming in the corner. Even the maids who were once cold are admitting they liked Edele from the start. The way she transformed Linnea's style is the talk of the estate. Edele is being humble, giving all the credit to Linnea, but we all know who the real MVP is. Laslo is caught in a total trance watching Edele get ready for the final day of the party. He tells her she looks like she's doing much better, and for a second, it feels like she is literally glistening. The ice count is definitely starting to melt, and it is honestly adorable to watch. Our socially awkward commander is trying to figure out how to thank her.
He's even thinking about buying a sofa for his office, just so she has somewhere comfortable to sit during their meetings.
He wants to show his appreciation for how she handled his clumsy sister, but Edele insists the promotion was enough. Laslo isn't taking no for an answer. He tries to press a reward into her hand, telling her it is nothing compared to what she has done for his family. The tension in the room is off the charts. Just as things are getting main character romantic, Linnea bursts in like a wrecking ball.
Linnea is screaming at the top of her lungs, but for once, it is because she is happy.
She's bragging that she didn't get humiliated at the party for the first time ever. She's showing off the dress Edele picked out, and honestly, the glow-up is legendary. Laslo's heart sinks when he hears his sister talk about her past humiliations.
He realizes he was so busy being a mercenary king that he left his little sister to be eaten alive by social vultures.
The guilt is hitting him like a physical blow, and he's looking at Edele like she's a literal godsend. He decided Edele deserves the world. He pulls out a blank check and tells her to go buy the most expensive jewelry and clothes in the capital. It's the ultimate sugar count move. But Edele just stares at it like it's a piece of trash.
Edele's reason for refusing is heartbreaking. She thinks she's a prisoner who isn't allowed to leave the manor.
She's been living like she's under house arrest this whole time.
Laslo is absolutely horrified that she thought he was her jailer instead of her employer.
The realization that she is a free employee with a salary hits Edele like a ton of bricks. She's not a slave, and she can walk out the front door whenever she wants. She feels like a total fool for the misunderstanding, and even Laslo starts laughing at how imperfect she actually is. Now that the air is clear, Edele decides she wants something much more valuable than a blank check.
She looks Laslo right in the eyes and asks for a favor. She wants him to promise that he will always trust her word and believe the truth she tells him.
This is some major ride or die energy. Laslo doesn't even hesitate. He promises to believe her no matter what. They just formed the most powerful alliance in the Empire over a desk full of paperwork. Meanwhile, back in the dressing room, the snake in a maid's uniform Marcia is trying to sabotage Linnea's makeup again. Marcia tries to push that gaudy flower powder on Linnea, but our girl has been trained by a duchess. She fiercely rejects the makeup and throws the bottle to the floor, where it shatters into a million pieces. Linnea tells her to get out, and you can practically see Marcia's soul leaving her body. Marcia is standing in the hallway, and she is giving off major final boss energy. She's realizing she has lost her grip on the Chris's house, and she blames one person, Edele. She vows to survive this and destroy Edele Lancaster for interfering. The war for the manor has officially begun.
Just when you thought the drama was over for the night, the head housekeeper Marcia creeps into Linnea's room looking like a literal nightmare.
She is trying to play nice, dangling a jar of new flower powder and promising to make Linnea even prettier than Edele. But our girl is not falling for the trap anymore. She swiped that jar so fast it shattered into a million pieces right at Marcia's feet. Talk about a boss move. Linnea officially explodes, roasting Marcia for using cheap products just to turn her into a laughingstock. Marcia tries to play the innocent card and blame the other maids, but Linnea is not hearing it. She kicks her out and slams the door with enough force to wake the whole manor. Standing in the dark hallway, Marcia is absolutely seething, swearing that Edele Lancaster is going to pay for this. The war is officially on. Edele is packing her bags because she is officially moving into the main building.
Daisy is literally in tears, wailing that the main building is too far away.
She's devastated because no more hairbrushing sessions or midnight snacks. It is the most dramatic roommate breakup ever. Edele feels a wave of guilt for being the only one getting a glow up. But Daisy points out that even Mina has a nice room just because she is Madame Bohan's favorite. Our girl is realizing that this house doesn't run on merit, it runs on bribes and brown-nosing. The tea is officially spilled. Daisy reveals that the housekeeper assigns the best rooms to whoever pays the biggest tributes. Edele is taking mental notes of all this corruption. She's gathering evidence like a pro, realizing Bohan has been running a literal mafia under Laslo's nose.
To cheer Daisy up, Edele suggests a weekend trip to the Avenue of Artists. They're planning to find cute decorations for the new room and actually enjoy some freedom.
It's a rare moment of bestie peace, but in this manhwa, peace never lasts more than 5 minutes. Boom. Chaos enters the chat.
Lady Linnea realizes her favorite pearl hairpin is missing from her jewelry box.
She's frantic, checking every corner while Edele tries to keep her calm. You just know someone didn't just lose it, this is a setup. It gets worse.
They realize several other gold necklaces and earrings are gone too.
Linnea is absolutely enraged by the betrayal in her own home.
She orders the entire staff to gather immediately. The mercenary king's sister is finally showing some of that family fire. Linnea demands a full search of every maid's room. She's specifically looking at the 3 maids who clean her room, but Edele insists on being searched too.
She's making sure everything is fair so nobody can scream special treatment later.
Edele whispers some wisdom to Linnea. The thief has probably sold the items already.
But she encourages her to keep the search going to find the guilty party.
She's guiding the young lady through her first real house crisis with total Duchess-level composure. Enter Madame Bohan with a performance that deserves an Oscar. She claims she found the stolen jewelry hidden in the room of Edele's besties. She's pointing the finger at Salia, Daisy, and Layla like she just solved the crime of the century. The accused maids are absolutely devastated. They rightfully point out that as low-ranking laundry maids, they aren't even allowed to enter Linnea's private wing. The logic is failing, but Bohan is doubling down on the drama. Now the trap is closing on Edele. Bohen suggests that Edele used her high rank to steal the jewels and hide them in her friend's room.
She is trying to paint Edele as the mastermind of a jewelry theft ring.
The audacity of this woman is actually breathtaking. To everyone's shock, Linnea doesn't bite. She refuses to be manipulated by the housekeeper screeching. She orders everyone back to work, saying she needs to consider the matter with a clear head. Linnea is finally growing a spine, and I am loving it. Madame Bohen and Marcia are seething in the hallways. They failed to get Edele arrested, but they're hoping the special treatment will turn the other staff against her. They are still playing their petty games, not realizing that the fallen Duchess is 3 steps ahead. In private, Linnea is dying to know how Edele stayed so calm. She asks if Edele actually has a way to prove their innocence. You can see the trust building between them. It's no longer lady and maid, they are actual allies now. Edele makes a powerful promise: she won't let Linnea's faith in her go to waste. She is ready to fight for her friends and her reputation. She's channeling all that past trauma into a cold, hard resolve to destroy the snakes in this house. The atmosphere shifts as Count Laslo returns home.
He's walking into a manor on the brink of civil war, and you just know he's not going to be happy about his favorites being bullied.
The Mercenary king is back, and the trial is about to get real. Linnea is still curious about Edele's past life.
She asks if elegant ladies are taught not to scream when the table turns against them.
Edele just gives a bittersweet smile, realizing she's just an imperfect person trying to survive.
The chapter ends with a major standoff looming. Laslo is home, the jewelry is missing, and the staff is divided.
Edele is standing tall, ready to unveil the truth.
The battle for the Chrysis estate has officially reached a boiling point. Edele is standing in front of Count Laslo and she is not backing down. She tells him straight up that the head housekeeper's accusation is weaker than a wet paper towel. Just because the jewelry was in her friend's room doesn't mean a thing, and honestly, the housekeeper hasn't even tried to prove her own innocence. Remember that promise of trust? Edele is cashing it in right now. Laslo is all in, trusting her innocence from the jump because he knows she's not a thief. But Edele hits him with a plot twist: she's not even talking about the jewelry. She's been playing 4D chess this whole time. For the past 3 months, Edele has been a secret accountant. She hands over files documenting every single fact she witnessed, from embezzled vegetable money to illegal introduction fees for the ladies' dresses. She's asking Laslo to launch an official investigation in his name. Our girl is coming for Marcia's whole career. Laslo asks if this is payback for the frame job.
Edele explains that Marcia is spiraling because she lost her mind control grip over Lady Linnea.
The theft was a calculated move to get rid of the only maids who were actually nice to Edele. It's a total villain move, and the Count is finally seeing the red flags. The servant mafia logic is finally exposed.
Edele reveals she was assigned the most brutal, soul-crushing labor because she refused to join Marcia's clique or pay the tribute.
It's a toxic workplace nightmare, and Edele is done being the punching bag for a corrupt head maid. Even while dropping the hammer, Edele is having an internal crisis.
She's wondering if a man like Laslo Chrysis could ever truly believe someone like her. A woman abandoned by her own family and a fallen house.
Her heart is going Batum because she knows her entire future depends on this one man's trust. Laslo takes a deep sigh and actually takes the blame. He admits he neglected the manor and blindly trusted Marcia just because she was experienced. He is looking at the embezzlement evidence and he is absolutely seething. The Mercenary king is officially awake. He reaffirms his promise to Edele. He knows she isn't the type to lie or get greedy over nothing.
He's realized his own mistakes, and Edele is the one who helped him see them.
It's a rare moment of vulnerability from our cold commander, and the respect is finally mutual. Edele is looking like a literal angel surrounded by roses, while the Count is looking more intense than ever. He asks her if she knew what she was getting into when she came to him. The tension in the air is electric, and you can tell the next 5 minutes are going to change the estate forever. Chaos erupts in the courtyard.
Maids are being dragged away, screaming that they were just following orders.
Marcia Bohen is finally cornered, and the Nixkin's energy is hitting peak levels of drama as the guilty staff members flail and beg for their lives. Marcia hits the floor with a thud. Laslo demands a confession for the embezzlement, but the woman is still shouting that it's all nonsense. She is trying to play the victim even with spears pointed at her chest. The audacity is actually legendary. Game over. Nathan reveals that the other staff members have already confessed everything. He produces Marcia's secret ledger, proving she bought the cheapest produce while billing for premium goods and pocketing 30% of the difference. She even meddled with Linnea's cosmetic funds. The math is looking grim for Marcia. The total embezzlement adds up to a staggering 250,000 lington. She starts yelling about how hard she worked for the last 3 years, but everyone can see her for the snake she really is. She's stumbling over her own lies now. The staff is whispering in disgust, who would forgive someone who stole enough money to buy a whole house? Laslo gives her 2 cold options: face the police and get 30 lashings, or sign a loan agreement to repay 400,000 lington. It's a death sentence either way. Marcia is horrified by the extra 150k, but Laslo tells her that's the cost of her life and compensation for the trouble. She collapses on the ground as the choice is officially in her hands. Justice is finally served, and it's looking cold and sharp like a mercenary's blade.
Salia and Daisy are embracing in tears.
Their names are finally clear and they don't have to worry about being called thieves anymore. The laundry squad survived the frame job, and the wholesome energy in this scene is a complete 180 from the courtyard execution vibes. Now there's a new problem: the head housekeeper position is vacant.
Everyone is wondering how they ever lived with a monster like Marcia.
Laslo smirks and looks at the woman who actually uncovered the crimes.
I think we all know where this is going.
Boom. Plot twist of the century. Laslo announces that from now on, Edele will be the new head housekeeper. The former Duchess is now officially in charge of the entire staff. Talk about a promotion that has everyone dropping their jaws. Laslo isn't playing around. He warns the staff that if anyone plans on disobeying Edele or has a problem with her, they should speak up now so he can write them a recommendation and show them the door. He's giving Edele his full imperial level backing.
The guilty staff members are dashing out before their heads roll, while the remaining maids discover Marcia was keeping the nicest rooms empty as storage out of pure spite.
The innocent staff is finally filling the vacancies, and everyone is gearing up to help Edele reorganize the manor. The mansion is chaotic, but the vibe is hopeful. The maids are murmuring that having Edele as the new boss isn't bad at all. They're realizing that hiring from the outside wouldn't guarantee a good leader anyway. Edele has already won their loyalty. As night falls, Edele is finally settling into her new role. But the chapter ends on one last mystery: there's a clack and a flutter at the door. Someone is dropping by late at night for a secret conversation. Is it a friend, a new enemy, or the Count coming for another office chat? The aftermath of the audit is brutal. Laslo's mercenaries went on a literal scavenger hunt through Marcia's vendors and found the secret double ledger. Turns out the broke embezzlement queen failed to keep a straight account of anything. She wasn't just stealing, she was doing it with zero professional pride. Edele is looking at these messy accounts and getting a literal migraine.
She realizes the estate has been neglected for years and decides it is easier to just start everything from scratch.
Since she used to run a whole duchy, this is basically beginner-level math for her, but man, the corruption is deep.
Our girl is already planning the manor's restructuring and thinking they desperately need a butler to keep things professional.
She is reflecting on how much her circle has grown since her Duchess days, but then, knock knock. Who is stopping by at this ungodly hour for some paperwork and chill?
Edele is walking toward the door, thinking about how far she has come, but she gets a surprise at the entrance.
It is Count Laslo standing there looking as intense as ever. The first thing he does is lecture her about being more cautious with who she lets in late at night. Calm down, Dad, she's got this. The Count apologizes for the late visit and asks to come in for a minute. The atmosphere is thick with that ML and FL in a small room energy. He is standing there looking all brooding, and you just know he is not here for the budget reports. Edele feels bad that she has nothing to offer him, but Laslo isn't hungry for snacks. He is here to drop some major praise.
He reveals that Linnea is finally happy and the party invites are flooding in thanks to Edele.
The mercenary king is actually admitting he was clueless about his own sister's pain. Linnea is beaming in these flashbacks, looking naturally bright for once. Laslo is repeating himself because he is just that impressed.
He realizes that a total stranger did more for his family in 2 months than he did in 3 years.
Talk about a massive blow to the big brother ego. Laslo is looking at Edele with those golden eyes, admitting he was completely clueless. He is humbled, guys. He's thanking her 100 times and it still feels like it's not enough. He even says he is looking forward to working with her not just as a count, but personally too. Is that a confession I hear? He's noticed that Edele is doing much better than before, and he's feeling a little less guilty about sending her to the Celestines. Edele is glistening under his gaze, and she tells him she doesn't hate or resent him. She knows he was just doing his job as a spoils of war collector. Edele is being way too rational, claiming it was unfair of the Majesty to give her away as a trophy. She is basically roasting her own situation. But Laslo stops her dead in her tracks with a look that could melt iron. He is about to say something that will change the whole vibe of this late-night meet. Here it is. Laslo drops the line, the Emperor gave him the most precious person he could ask for. Edele is absolutely shook, staring at him in total silence. The Nixkin's energy is hitting 100% right now as our cold mercenary king basically accidentally confessed his feelings.
Naturally, Laslo panics and starts stuttering, trying to clarify that he meant she was the highest-ranking prisoner.
Bro, nice save, but the blush on your face says otherwise. Edele just thanks him, probably dying inside from the awkwardness of it all.
Edele reflects on the grim truth. No one thought the wife of a traitor would survive the war.
If Laslo hadn't taken her in as a maid, she would have been cooked.
She is finally realizing that this manor wasn't her prison. It was her literal life raft in a sea of imperial blood.
Sensing the darkness in her thoughts, Laslo tells her that things will surely get better one day. He makes her promise never to think about ending it all ever again.
He is basically becoming her emotional anchor, and Edele is starting to crack under all this unexpected compassion. One day, she whispers as the first tear falls.
Laslo tells her not to cry and reminds her to keep hiding her true self just like she always has. He is terrified that if she shows weakness, she will break completely, but honestly, the girl needs a good cry.
The emotional dam finally breaks. Edele is sobbing, admitting that all she ever wanted was a normal life. No more high-stakes politics, no more spoils of war nonsense. She is weeping for everything she lost and everything she never had. Laslo doesn't back away.
He reaches out and tells her it is okay to cry more.
He acknowledges that trying to be normal must have been the hardest task she ever faced.
He is giving her the permission to just be human for once, and I am not crying, you are.
He hands her a handkerchief with such warm compassion that it hits her harder than any insult.
Edele realizes he's seen her at her absolute lowest countless times. So what difference does one more breakdown make?
She is finally feeling safe enough to let the world see her scars.
Edele's dream of a normal life is so simple it's heartbreaking. Just an average family, typical romance, and real friends.
Things that were always out of reach for a duchess. She clutches that handkerchief and plans to wash and return it tomorrow, marking her first step into a new life. Morning comes and the birds are chirping for a new era. Edele wakes up feeling refreshed after sleeping like a baby. She is hungry and ready to take care of business. She is reassigning staff tasks based on their preferences, which is a total fair boss move. Edele is the new head housekeeper and she is not wasting time.
She reassigns everyone, telling them to think of this as a new beginning.
The staff is beaming, shouting yes, ma'am, with actual joy.
The manor is finally feeling like a home instead of a labor camp.
Lady Linnea takes the stage and the gasp in the room is audible.
She admits it was her responsibility to maintain the house and apologizes for the pressure. She even says she is sorry for making things hard for them while Marcia was manipulating her. Linnea's goal is now to run the Chrysis estate with honor and dignity. She specifically apologizes to the 3 maids who were falsely accused, promising that Edele will be there to support them.
The staff is in tears again, but this time it is from gratitude.
The manor is stabilized, so it is time for a day off. Edele and Daisy head to a popular shopping district. Edele wants to focus on having fun and buying clothes for her off-duty time. But just as she is feeling free, a click and a voice shatter the peace. Someone from the crowd calls out, "Oh my, Edele Canyon?" Edele stops dead in her tracks as her old family name is shouted in public. A lady with a parasol recognizes her, and the chapter ends on a massive cliffhanger. Is her normal life over before it even began? The drama is officially back on.
Edele is just trying to enjoy her day off when she gets jumped by Lady Lucille Arton.
This woman is out here loudly shouting Edele's name like she just spotted a celebrity criminal, alerting every hater in the vicinity. The Nixkin's energy is already peaking as the judgmental murmurs start to flood the street. The atmosphere turns toxic fast. People are whispering about why a criminal is allowed to walk around freely. They're actually accusing her of stealing the nice clothes she's wearing and mocking her for living as a maid. Imagine having to explain your outfit to a crowd of social vultures. The gossipers are relentless, claiming she should have died with honor instead of serving a mercenary. They're even bringing up the fired knights like it's her fault they were trash. Edele is standing there like a statue of grace, taking the verbal damage while her poor friend Daisy looks ready to faint from the stress. Edele finally speaks up and she is cold as ice. She tells them straight up that she has permission from Count Chrysis to be outside. She even dares them to take their complaints to the Emperor himself. She's basically saying, "I'm protected by the throne, what are you gonna do about it?"
Our girl knows these people are just like Marcia, they just want to see others cry.
She is determined not to let their words get to her. She tries to bow and leave with some dignity, but the noblewomen aren't done playing with their food yet. The insults get personal. They ask if she's become the mercenary's mistress to earn her confidence. They're mocking her marriage to the old geezer and calling Laslo a lowly bastard. Edele can handle the hate directed at her, but insulting the Count is crossing a serious line. The tension is high enough to snap a bridge when suddenly, a shadow looms behind Edele. It is Count Laslo Chrysis himself. He's overheard everything, including the part where they called him a mistress collector. The look in his eyes says someone is about to get a very public reality check. The noble ladies are jolted by his arrival. They were so busy being bullies they didn't even notice the man they were insulting was standing right there. Laslo is looking like a walking nightmare in black, and you can practically hear the war drums starting to beat. Let's jump back a few hours to see how we got here. Laslo and Linnea were actually having a great sibling day, munching on street food.
Linnea thinks no expensive meal beats the taste of street snacks.
It's a rare moment of new money being unpretentious and actually cute. Linnea gets curious and asks how a child like Laslo was able to take care of an even smaller child back then. Laslo is dodgy, saying he just worked extremely hard. He's trying to stay tough, but you can see the shadow of the past passing through his golden eyes. Poor Linnea barely remembers their parents or the house they grew up in. She was only 5 years old when their world burned down. She is teary-eyed, begging her big brother to tell her more about their childhood. The sibling bond in this series is actually top tier. Flashback time.
Laslo remembers a peaceful and happy home, just an ordinary house you'd see anywhere.
But that fragile normalcy was destroyed in the blink of an eye.
We see the fire, the screaming, and a young Laslo running for his life.
Little Laslo is panting, carrying a sobbing Linnea on his back through the night. He is telling her he will keep her safe and never let go of her hand.
They have nowhere to go and his body is screaming in pain, but he is not stopping for anything.
They've been on the run for days, hiding in the shadows and shivering from the cold. Laslo is looking for any place where they could be safe. He is just a kid himself, but he's already carrying the weight of the whole world on his tiny shoulders. Suddenly, an old lady approaches them. She's the same one who gave them a meat pie a few days ago. She offers them shelter and food at her house with 2 old souls. Laslo's instincts tell him he can finally trust someone. Laslo accepts the offer, promising to repay her somehow. The lady is just a saint, telling him he doesn't have to say such things. She asks for their names, and Laslo makes a choice that will define his entire life. He is abandoning his past. He introduces his sister as Linnea and himself as just Laslo. He doesn't need a name or a past, he's going to make a new home. This is the origin story of the Mercenary King, and it is born from pure survival instinct. While the old couple looked after Linnea, Laslo went to work. He ran errands for mercenaries and naturally picked up the sword.
He admits they were quite happy there, and he wishes he could have repaid them if they had lived longer.
The trauma of being orphaned is still so raw. Linnea is touched, remembering the meat pies and how warm Grandma and Grandpa were. Laslo pats her head, basically asking if that's enough of an answer for her curiosity.
They're a family of two against the world, and they're finally starting to look toward a wonderful future.
Returning to the present, they're crossing a bridge when they spot the commotion. They witness the highborn vultures surrounding Edele and Daisy. Laslo overhears the mistress' comments and you can see his fury starting to flare up. Laslo steps in with maximum boss energy. Linnea is also hissing with anger, unable to believe how they dare speak to Edele like that. Laslo is glaring at the crowd, ready to take them all on for the sake of his staff member. Laslo is in total protective mode now. He asks the noble women to explain their rumors about him having a mistress. The women are flinching and stuttering, trying to claim it was just rumors. Our mercenary king is basically shredding their dignity in the middle of the street. With a legendary mic drop, Laslo declares Edele is a respected member of his house. He demands a formal apology for their vulgar words used against both him and his maid. The highborn snobs have officially met their match, and it's a guy with a very big sword. Laslo is not playing games today. He stands firm against those toxic noblewomen, demanding a formal apology for the vulgar words they spat at him and Edele.
He's out here reminding everyone that he is the Emperor's right-hand man, and making baseless accusations against him is a one-way ticket to a very scary investigation.
The mean girls of the capital are officially shook.
As soon as they realize Laslo is actually going to use his power, Lucille and her squad hit the deck with a deep bow.
They're begging for forgiveness like their lives depend on it, and honestly, the cowardice is actually embarrassing to watch. Laslo accepts the apology but makes it clear he can't speak for Edele. Edele, being the Queen of Grace, accepts it just to end the drama.
Meanwhile, the surrounding commoners are having a field day, mocking the blue bloods for being so quick to grovel.
The social hierarchy just took a massive L. Meet Marco, the Chris's family's loyal coachman and, surprise, Daisy's dad. He's been watching the whole showdown from the sidelines. Laslo checks in on Edele and finds out she and Daisy were just trying to get a quick portrait done. It's a rare moment of domestic peace after a major street fight. Linnea gets a major case of FOMO and insists on getting a portrait with her brother right now. She admits she's scared of losing him to one of his many battles and wants a way to remember his face. It's a rare, heart-wrenching moment of sibling love that has our big scary mercenary feeling all the guilt. Poor Daisy. Her relaxing day off has been officially hijacked by her terrifying employers. She's stuck trailing after the Count and his sister like a lost puppy. It's the ultimate work call on a weekend nightmare, but at least she gets to see the Count look awkward in a studio. The group hits up a trendy pastel portrait studio. Traditional oil paintings are so last season, everyone who's anyone is getting these quick, colorful sketches now.
Linnea is already acting like the creative director of the family image, and she is not happy with Laslo's look.
Linnea is roasting Laslo's unkempt beard, claiming it's going to ruin the whole vibe of the portrait. She's demanding he tidy up and actually look like a count for once.
Watching this battle-hardened warrior get bullied by his little sister over grooming is the comedic relief we all deserved.
While the artists get to work, Edele gets lost in some dark thoughts. She realizes she doesn't have a single portrait of herself because she was always excluded from the family gallery. Her father probably thought paint was too expensive to waste on a daughter he was planning to sell anyway.
Here's the real heartbreak. Edele laments that the only images she had of her late sister Lynn were lost when the Lancaster house burned down. She's lost her past twice over. She's longing for a normal life where memories aren't just ash and shadows. The head painter is absolutely captivated by Edele.
He thinks she has the kind of beauty that could make her a star, and tries to recruit her into a theater troupe.
He's promising her fame and fortune on the stage, but Edele just gives him a polite no thanks. For the first time in forever, Edele feels a sense of true peace.
She realizes she's actually content with her current life as a housekeeper.
She doesn't need the spotlight, she just needs safety and the friends she's made. It's a major character growth moment. Laslo steps in and shuts down the talent scout, then does something incredibly generous. He pays for a special portrait of Marco and Daisy. It's a reward for Marco's years of loyalty, and you can see Daisy's eyes lighting up. Our Count is low-key the best boss in the Empire. But wait, there is more. Laslo commissions a solo portrait of Edele. He claims he wants to send it to Marchioness Barbara as a status update so she knows Edele is doing well.
It's a thoughtful move that hits Edele right in the feels.
Edele is deeply moved, realizing Laslo is helping her rebuild her connection with the only mother figure she has left. The Ice Count is definitely melting into a puddle of care and consideration. The way he looks at her while she's being painted is pure main character energy. The portrait session is finished and the group heads back to the carriage. Laslo is holding Edele's portrait and, get this, he's actually hesitant to give it away. He's staring at the image of her and you can tell he wants to keep it for himself. The simp levels are reaching critical mass. As they drive home, Laslo is fighting his internal battle over a piece of paper. He's never been this conflicted about a mission before. Meanwhile, the holiday is coming to an end and it's time for the manor to get back to business. The next morning, the new employees arrive at the manor. It's a fresh start for the household staff under Edele's leadership. The corrupt old system is officially dead, and the new era of the Chrysis estate has finally begun. Edele steps fully into her role as head housekeeper. She's beginning the massive task of purging the remnants of Marcia's corruption. She's organizing, cleaning, and setting new standards. Our girl is finally in charge, and she is making room for a much brighter future.
Edele reflects on how she thought she was already happy, but now she's hoping for an even better life.
Today has been wonderful, and she's looking forward to what comes next.
The Duchess in ruins is officially rising from the ashes. Laslo offers Edele and Daisy a ride back in the carriage, but they politely decline because they still have errands. He respects their free time and heads home with Linnea. The respect between employer and employee is at an all-time high. The day wraps up with Edele and Daisy heading back to the stores. It was an unexpectedly long day, but a successful one.
Edele is happy with her portrait of Linnea and her gift for the loyal Marco.
Laslo is caught in a total trance, staring at Edele's portrait in the carriage like his life depends on it. He's supposed to send it to the Marchioness as a status update, but the guy is having a total internal meltdown because he doesn't want to let go of the painting. He's telling himself it's a surprise for Barbara, but we all know he just wants to keep Edele's face in his office. Simp behavior at its finest. The holiday is officially over and the new squad has arrived at the manor. Edele is stepping into her head housekeeper boots and she is not playing. She is purging the old, corrupt vibes and making the manor actually livable for once. The staff is lining up and giving her the ultimate respect, shouting yes, head housekeeper, like she is the queen herself. The Chrysis estate is finally under new management, and I am here for this boss girl era.
We are starting with the ultimate panic.
Lady Linnea is literally grabbing Edele's hands and begging her to take responsibility for her brother.
Apparently, the social scene thinks Count Laslo is a terrifying beast, and Linnea is convinced Edele is the only one who can fix his vibe, so he can actually get married.
Backing up to the start of Edele's new reign as head maid. With her workload increasing, she needs to hire a new personal maid for Linnea. Celia and Lila are the OGs, but they decline the promotion because they're too busy babysitting the new staff. At least they're being supportive. Edele doesn't have to look far for a replacement. She selects Daisy as the perfect fit. Daisy is sweet, kind, and exactly the kind of influence Linnea needs to stop acting like a spoiled brat. It is the dream team we never knew we needed. First order of business, an extreme home makeover. Edele and the crew are sorting through years of accumulated junk to decide what is worth keeping and what needs to be sold.
It is basically a manor-sized garage sale, and Edele is making sure they don't lose a single cent.
Daisy is nervous about her new responsibilities, but Edele is giving her the ultimate pep talk. She knows Daisy will do just fine because her kindness is going to help shape Linnea's character. It is all about those positive influences across class lines, people. Fashion time. Edele is helping Linnea pick out dresses that actually look elegant instead of gaudy. They're ordering everything from outing outfits to evening gowns. Linnea is finally trusting Edele's eye for style, and honestly, the glow-up is going to be legendary. A tailor from the Dunamis atelier arrives and she is giving off major shady merchant vibes. She's taking measurements and showing off a catalog, but Edele is watching her like a hawk. You just know this lady is about to try and pull a fast one. The tailor starts pushing these trendy designs on Linnea.
Edele realizes this woman is just trying to offload her stubborn unsold inventory on the naive new nobles.
It is a classic scam, but unfortunately for the tailor, Edele knows every trick in the book. Linnea is actually paying attention. She rejects the pushy trendy designs and sticks to the elegant one they agreed on earlier. She even throws some shade back, asking the tailor if she's disappointed that she's not buying more. Our girl is finally developing a spine. The tailor is flustered and quickly moves on to measurements. Edele is internally beaming with pride. She sees Linnea regaining her lost confidence step by step, learning to choose quality people and quality dresses. Edele is determined to teach Linnea everything she needs to know to live with grace. She's taking it slow, but the results are already showing. The Crisis family is finally starting to look like actual nobility. Time to settle the bill. Edele hands over the money from the second-hand trades. They manage to pull off a successful trade-in, and the merchant is impressed by the price they got. Edele is proving she's just as good at finance as she is at laundry. Linnea does something super sweet and gives a gift to a servant who works hard.
She realizes that a lady's reputation is built on how she treats people, not just her title.
The new money is finally showing some old money heart. Edele notes that the merchant they traded with is a well-known source of info. By treating her well, Linnea's reputation is going to skyrocket in the capital. It is all strategic, baby. Another precious thing enters Edele's life. Her own room is finally starting to feel like a sanctuary. It's filled with letters and gifts from her new squad. After years of being excluded from her own family history, she finally has a space that belongs to her. Edele starts her diary era. She wants to record all the new memories she's making in this mansion instead of just tracking schedules and finances. It is a fresh start and a way to heal from her traumatic past. She's jotting down notes about the ointment Daisy gave her and the kindness of the young lady. Her wounds are healing in more ways than one. It's a peaceful moment of reflection until BAM. Linnea bursts into the room without even knocking. She is in a total rush and looks frantic. Edele is worried that something disastrous happened at the tea party, but Linnea is here for a much weirder reason. Here it is, please take responsibility for my brother. Edele is just standing there like, excuse me? Linnea is desperate and it is honestly hilarious to see her this worked up over her brother's lack of a love life. We flash back to the party at the Bringin estate. Linnea met Lady Bringin's granddaughter, Jeremiah. For once, there was no sarcasm or bullying, just a real, honest conversation. Linnea is so relieved to find a real friend. They're gossiping about parties and brothers, and it turns out Count Laslo has a reputation for being scary and hard to approach. Jeremiah asks if Laslo dislikes parties because she's never seen him at one. Linnea admits he's just super busy as the captain of the Imperial Guard. But the real tea is that his free-spirited nature makes him a suitor nightmare.
Linnea realizes the truth is found in unguarded moments. If Laslo keeps acting like a rugged mercenary, he's going to end up alone.
She's determined to change his stubbornness, and she thinks Edele is the secret weapon.
Early morning chaos at the Crisis Manor. Lady Linnea is out here barging into her brother's room with Edele in tow, demanding he wake up and face the music. Laslo is looking like he just crawled out of a trench, and Linnea is not having it. Linnea doesn't hold back. She looks at her brother and bluntly tells him she can't even tell if he's a nobleman or a thief. She's comparing him to a tired countryside noble who just wandered into the capital, and honestly, the shade is legendary. Here is the real tea. Linnea spills the gossip she heard at the party. High society views Count Laslo as an unmarriageable man who lacks every ounce of social grace.
They think he's just a rugged commoner playing dress-up. And Linnea is terrified she'll never find a suitor because of him.
Laslo tries to act unbothered, claiming it's fine as long as they still call him a nobleman. But Linnea is fuming. She warns him that his messy image is dragging her down with him.
She's desperate, and Laslo is starting to feel the heat of the little sister rage.
Feeling totally cornered, Laslo turns to the one person whose opinion actually matters to him, Edele. He's silently pleading for her to take his side, but Edele is caught between her boss and her friend. The tension in the room is high enough to snap a sword.
Linnea encourages Edele to be 100% honest.
Edele finally drops the polite maid act and lets it rip. She admits that his current style is a total disaster and he needs a major overhaul if he wants anyone to take him seriously as a count. Edele points out the most embarrassing part: he's wearing training boots with noble attire. It's a fashion crime of the highest order. She insists on a haircut, a shave, and proper skin treatments. She's basically telling the mercenary king he needs a full day at the spa. Laslo is initially taken aback by her harshness. He's never been roasted this hard in his life.
But he realizes she's right.
He appreciates her honesty and finally agrees to the physical transformation. The Ice Count is officially surrendering to the power of a haircut. Edele takes charge immediately. This isn't just grooming, it's a mission. She's managing the whole process with military precision, viewing it as her duty to restore the house's image. She's no longer just a maid, she's the creative director of Operation Glow Up. As the haircut begins, our big scary commander is looking a bit self-conscious. He feels like a child being watched, and he's fidgeting in the chair. Edele is standing right there, giving the barber specific instructions to highlight his eyes and jawline. Next up, the beard. They're shaving off years of rugged mercenary life. As the thick hair falls away, a refined and handsome face is finally revealed. Everyone in the room is holding their breath because the transformation is absolutely insane. Edele is internally stunned. She knew he was a good-looking man, but without the beard and the messy hair, he's a total 10/10.
She's realized that her boss isn't just attractive. He's probably the most handsome man in the entire empire.
Linnea is absolutely overjoyed.
She's practically doing a victory dance, predicting that Laslo is about to be buried under marriage proposals. She's already planning his wedding in her head while Laslo just looks confused by all the attention. Edele isn't done yet. She suggests they move on to professional skin treatments to polish his new look. She wants him to look like the high-ranking noble he actually is. Laslo is just going along with it at this point, probably because he can't say no to Edele's determined face. Enter a visitor. Nathan is back and he is shocked by the sudden glow-up. He starts mocking the stubborn warrior, laughing about how he finally started caring about his looks. He knows Laslo didn't do this for himself, he did it because Edele told him to. Nathan is relentless, asking who made him like this. He guesses there must be someone Laslo wants to look good for.
Laslo just screams at him to shut up and claims he did it for Linnea.
But we all know the truth, and Nathan's smirk says he knows it too.
Laslo admits that the time for change has come. He can't ignore his sister's concerns anymore if they want a real future in high society. He's accepting his role as a count for real now, not just as a title given by the emperor. Edele enters the office to discuss buying new menswear and accessories to match his new face. Laslo treats her with such warmth and trust that even the knowing guest Nathan is caught off guard. The atmosphere is no longer master and maid, it's something much deeper.
Nathan is watching from the sidelines, and he sees the rare, genuine smile on Laslo's face.
He realizes that Edele's influence is the only reason the Ice Count is finally opening up.
The mercenary king has been tamed, and it didn't take a sword, it took a pair of scissors and a barber's chair. The chapter ends with Laslo finally feeling confident in his new skin. He's ready to face the vultures of the capital. With Edele by his side, the House of Chrysis is about to become the most talked about name in the empire. Lady Linnea is on a mission. She is enthusiastically telling her brother they must plant a forest of roses to make their garden as gorgeous as the ones they've seen at parties. She wants the Chrysis Manor to be just as splendid as any old money estate, and she is starting with the landscaping. Count Laslo agrees to hire a gardener, but he's clearly overwhelmed. He's juggling household drama and Imperial Guard training that is going nowhere fast.
He's out here thinking they need a butler and some better intelligence gathering before they even think about roses.
Laslo is low-key roasting his own Imperial Knights. He wishes they were half as diligent as Edele. He sees them as pampered young lords with zero willpower, especially compared to his tenacious Calliope mercenaries. He's stressing about how to close that gap while his sister is talking about flowers. Linnea snaps him back to reality. She tells him he can't be spacing out once they arrive at the party. They've put in way too much work on his glow-up for him to act like a distracted soldier. It's game time, and she needs him to be the mercenary king in a suit. We flash back to Edele giving some solid advice a few days ago.
She was the one who encouraged the Count to attend this garden party as his grand debut.
She knew Linnea was desperate to show everyone how much he's changed. Edele drops some heavy logic. Laslo needs to see the cruelty of the nobility with his own eyes. He needs to see exactly what Linnea has been facing all alone. It's the ultimate undercover boss mission, and Laslo is realizing he can't protect what's precious if he stays ignorant. Edele even suggests that he should be the one to escort Linnea. It's the perfect stage for his debut. Laslo is taking this all in, realizing that leading an ordinary life is actually the hardest thing they've ever had to do. Meanwhile, at the party, the villains are already plotting. Angela and Camille are gossiping with Angela's cousin, Enoch Bliss. They're falsely claiming Linnea is a mannerless commoner who looks down on them. The level of gaslighting is actually off the charts. Enoch decides to teach Linnea a lesson for her supposed arrogance. He assumes she'll come alone and plans to find her a suitable partner. He's basically trying to set a social trap before she even steps out of the carriage. The plot gets darker. Enoch mentions a guy with grabby hands who is looking for a young woman.
He thinks setting Linnea up with a predator is a good thing for her.
These people are literal monsters in expensive dresses. The villain's laughter is cut short when the crowd starts buzzing. Who is that man standing next to Linnea Chrysos? Laslo has arrived, and his grand entrance is so epic it basically stops the music. He looks like a completely different person. Angela and Camille are stunned.
Angela realized her partner trap is officially ruined because Linnea brought the most handsome man at the party.
They don't even recognize him at first because his hair is cut and his beard is gone. Word spreads like wildfire, it's Count Laslo Chrysos. Even the people in the Imperial Guard are flabbergasted. The mercenary king just became the boy of the garden party, and the villains are realizing they might have picked the wrong family to bully. Linnea is beaming. She sees everyone's surprised reactions and feels like she finally has the upper hand. She is clutching her brother's arm and looking like she owns the garden. The new money is finally flexing some real social power. Angela and Camille are scrambling.
Camille thinks Linnea is trying to put them in their place, but Angela decides they should greet them first.
It is the ultimate survival tactic. If you can't beat them, act like you were friends all along. Enoch Bliss is terrified. He doesn't want to greet the beast and quickly retreats, leaving his cousin and Camille to do the dirty work. He's literally running away to tend to other guests. Talk about zero backbone.
Angela puts on her fake smile and approaches.
She asks if Linnea remembers her, and you can practically see the sweat through the Nixkin's watermark. She's desperately trying to keep the atmosphere from becoming even weirder. Linnea introduces her fine gentleman companion. Angela is all "Oh my, may I ask for an introduction?" She is acting like she's a fangirl, while Camille is in the back probably plotting a second-hand sabotage. This is my brother, Count Laslo Chrysos. The name drop hits like a bomb. Laslo is standing there looking stone-cold and majestic, while Angela and Camille are trying to remember how to breathe. Angela tries to play it cool, asking if this is his first party. Laslo gives her the most I don't care answer ever, it just so happened to turn out that way. He is basically telling her he didn't come for her, he came because he felt like it. Angela offers to introduce them to her grandfather, Count Bliss. It's a major peace offering. But Linnea is feeling the pressure.
She realizes that even with her brother by her side, the atmosphere of high society is suffocating.
Laslo rejects the introduction and takes Linnea to meet the host themselves. Angela is impressed by his arrogance, while Camille is just offended.
The observers realize that the currents of high society are officially shifting.
The Chrysos family is here to stay. The Emperor is having the laugh of his life. He's erupting in laughter because he heard Count Chrysos showed up all dolled up, and seeing the rugged captain finally acting like a noble is pure gold.
Laslo is sitting there fuming, wondering if his new face was worth the mockery. Laslo admits his sister was the driving force, but he reveals the real mastermind, her personal maid Edele.
The Emperor immediately clocks that he's talking about Count Kenyon's daughter. He notes that no one can match her knowledge when it comes to the high society game.
The Emperor thinks Laslo is being sly for keeping such talent close.
He tells Laslo that while he may have been forced into the glow-up, it's a very good look for him.
Laslo maintains he didn't do it for others to enjoy, but the Emperor knows better, this is a political move.
This transformation is more than fashion, it's a public declaration of loyalty. The Emperor is thrilled because Laslo can no longer run from high society. He's officially blended into the world of nobility as a loyal subject, just as the throne intended. Because of this change, Laslo has instantly become the tempting groom of the year. Noble families have been waiting for this chance to form an alliance with the Emperor's favorite. Linnea is already being scouted by ladies who want to get to her brother. Laslo is sipping tea, reflecting on how he's always turned his back on society.
He realizes his new behavior signifies a massive shift.
He is choosing to step into the light, even though he knows the noble world is full of vipers. Laslo looks like a dazed chibi as he processes his new groom status. He admits he's never even considered marriage. The Emperor asks when he'll be ready, but Laslo just gives a disappointing answer, "If your majesty commands it."
Laslo admits he believes in fated love.
He has a surprisingly romantic side hidden under all that armor. The Emperor, calling himself the last romantic, hopes that such a person appears for Laslo too. The Emperor departs to spend time with his beloved wife, leaving Laslo in the silent office.
Laslo is left thinking about the Emperor's words on love.
It is a rare moment of quiet for the man who is usually surrounded by war and noise. Laslo reflects on the cynical reality of noble marriages.
He sees them as political acts built on lies, betrayal, and hypocrisy.
He wonders if he could ever allow himself to believe in true love, given everything he's seen.
Back at the manor, Linnea is pouting to Edele about the party. She's devastated that she couldn't dance with her brother because he has zero training.
She's blaming herself for not preparing him, but Edele reminds her there will be other chances.
Linnea reveals she spent the whole night pointing out her bullies to Laslo. Watching him look like he wanted to draw his sword on everyone who ignored her was the highlight of her night. She finally felt protected by her big scary brother. Our girl Linnea is officially in her confident era. She's no longer afraid of making mistakes because she knows she'll learn everything one by one with Edele. The bond between these three is becoming the ultimate shield for the Chrysos name. Time to deal with the aftermath, the invitation pile. Families that wouldn't even look at Linnea before are now shamelessly sending letters. They all want a piece of the handsome count who has the Emperor's ear. Laslo is blushing because he can't get used to being called handsome. Edele tells him it's only natural now that his face is visible. She advises him not to refuse the invites but to use them to understand the noble house's intentions.
Edele drops a truth bomb. Marriage proposals are coming next.
She points out that a powerful family could provide the strength the House of Chrysos needs. You can almost see her heart sinking as she talks about him marrying someone else. Laslo is still a rebel. He says he can handle the shaving, but he draws the line at skincare. He jokingly tells Edele that he'll only do the face packs if she is the one personally handling it. Be careful what you wish for, Count. The skincare session is pure fire. Edele is inches away from his face and noticing everything, his long dark lashes, the sparkle in his eyes, and a faint scar on his cheek. She's realizing just how hot her boss actually is. Suddenly, a pang of possessiveness hits her hard.
She realizes that once he starts attending social events, every other woman in the capital will notice these things too.
Edele is officially in her jealous Duchess era and she is not sharing.
Laslo is staring right at Edele, and our girl is so lost in thought that she almost forgets where she is.
The tension is real, and the way he's looking at her is enough to make anyone's heart do a backflip. Laslo is actually being observant for once. He notices her face is bright red and asks if she's catching another cold. He's leaning in close, showing that mercenary doctor side of his, and honestly, the close-up on his golden eyes is a 10 out of 10 moment.
Edele is internally screaming.
Her heart is pounding like a drum, and she is desperately trying to convince herself it's just overwork. She tells herself to get a grip because having feelings for the boss is definitely not in the job description. Time for business. Edele points out the legal headache of her current role. As head maid, she doesn't have the right to access the family's important info. That's a job for a butler. She's trying to be professional, but Laslo has a better idea brewing.
Laslo drops a truth bomb about his staffing history.
Every butler he's ever hired was a literal spy from the 4 great families. It turns out the Crisis Manor has been a revolving door for double agents and traitors this whole time. He admits he's been striking out on hires. Even Marcia was a fail because she didn't have any loyalty.
He's been searching for someone trustworthy for years, and he realizes the person he needs has been standing right in front of him.
You can be the butler. Laslo officially offers Edele the top spot. Edele is absolutely floored, blinking in shock as her whole world shifts in a single sentence. Edele tries to argue, but Laslo isn't having it. He points out her extensive experience managing finances and her proven ability to handle the staff. He's basically giving her a performance review that ends in a massive promotion. The real question, will she betray him?
Laslo reminds her that she already accepted his trust.
He challenges her to prove she's not greedy or full of nonsense, and you can see the deep bond between them strengthening right there on the rug. Laslo lightens the mood with some classic mercenary humor. He jokes that the house is already such a mess that she couldn't possibly make it any worse.
It's actually comforting, and Edele realizes she really can't help but say yes to this man.
Discussion over, the deal is sealed. Laslo leads her away, looking every bit the Count in his new suit. They are officially a power duo now, and the rest of the capital better start taking notes. Before he leaves for the palace, things get heavy. He shares a secret with his new butler, something she needs to know. The atmosphere turns dark and serious, showing that being the butler isn't just about tea and budgets, it's about carrying the family's burdens. Several days pass and Idel is thriving. She's handling everything from the entrance to the kitchen with total authority. The staff is falling in line, and Sir Butler is officially the most respected name in the manor. A fabric merchant arrives, and Edele shows him who is boss. She's vetting the goods, making sure everything is up to the Crisis family standards. She's not just buying, she's managing the house's reputation with every purchase. Negotiator mode, activated. Edele demands the fabrics be thicker and higher quality. She refuses to compromise on basic goods because she knows even minor details matter. The merchant is sweating, realizing he can't scam this butler. The merchant is terrified of this big mouth of mine getting him in trouble with a pro like Edele. He quickly agrees to her demands. Edele isn't just protecting the budget, she's protecting the house's honor from low-quality influence. Lady Linnea bursts in, and she's looking energized too. She's excited about the new gardener and is actually taking some responsibility for the estate. The transformation of the Crisis siblings is complete, and Edele is the heart of it all. Idel reviews the latest reports, focusing on how reputation is determined by the smallest differences. She is a perfectionist in her new role, ensuring the manor is polished to a high society sheen. Nathan arrives with the report on the new staff. Every single person has been vetted for trustworthiness. He admits he only did it because the captain ordered him, but you can tell his attitude toward Edele is changing. Redemption arc for Nathan. He officially welcomes her as a colleague and admits that while he once doubted her, he now trusts the captain's decision to place faith in her. The last barrier to Edele's total authority has finally crumbled. Idel is alone, pondering the great responsibility of the secret Laslo shared. She feels the weight on her fingers and in her heart, realizing she is now the keeper of the Crisis family legacy. On the night Count Laslo officially asks Edele to be his butler, he leads her through the manor with a surprisingly light step. He is moving with a sense of purpose, ready to unveil the secrets he has kept locked away from every other staff member for years. Laslo stops in front of a heavy, ornate safe. Edele is absolutely stunned as he prepares to open it right in front of her.
She realizes that this is no ordinary storage, it is the heart of the Crisis power, and she is the first one invited to see inside.
The family head safe. Edele is shaken, questioning how he can open something so important in front of a mere maid. Laslo simply tells her she needs to know because it's important. The level of trust being established here is absolutely off the charts. Edele notes that such a privilege is typically reserved only for the lady of the house. For a butler to have this access is unheard of, but Laslo is making his own rules. He is essentially placing his life and his legacy in her hands with a single click of the lock. Laslo's honesty is brutal. He admits he is a man who could die at any moment. As a war hero and the Emperor's right-hand man, his life is a constant battlefield. He isn't being dramatic, he's being a realist who needs to know his house won't fall if he doesn't come home. He confesses he has no immediate plans for marriage and that Linnea is nowhere near ready to handle the estate's heavy details. He's been searching for someone worthy of his complete confidence for a long time, and he finally stopped looking once he found Edele.
Laslo reflects on his role as the Emperor's mercenary king. He knows his position is precarious and that the House of Crisus is built on blood and merit, not old names.
This is why finding a reliable steward has become his most urgent mission. The threats are getting louder.
Laslo mentions the pressure from the three great families and his sister's constant fear for his safety.
He needs a pillar in this house, someone who can't be shaken by the political storms outside. He begins handing over the documents of enfeoffment and papers related to his territory. It's a physical transfer of power. He's telling her, "You are the butler," and he isn't taking no for an answer. Edele is still hesitant, warning him that his enemies will hunt her down. They will try to bribe her or threaten her once they know she holds the keys to the vault.
She's worried she'll become a target, but Laslo just smiles through her fear.
Laslo is certain she won't talk.
He reminds her that she is the person who refused a blank check. He knows she understands the true weight of trust because she has already proven she can't be bought.
You know the value and weight of trust. Laslo believes that when a person like Edele finds a place to stay, they become the most reliable ally. He's not just hiring a butler, he's choosing a partner for his life's mission. Then comes the heavy offer, "I will be the place you can lean on." He is turning their work contract into a mutual promise of support. Edele is moved, realizing she has finally found a sanctuary after years of running.
Edele starts reviewing the actual records and, gasp, the fortune is massive.
It is far greater than anything she imagined.
She realizes Laslo isn't just a successful mercenary. He's one of the wealthiest men in the empire, but he has zero clue how to spend it.
Laslo presents the signet ring. It's heavy, significant, and symbolizes her authority as the family head's proxy. When she puts it on, she is no longer a maid or a prisoner, she is the voice of Count Crisis himself. Edele accepts her duty with a grim resolve. She vows to protect the Crisos legacy until a true lady arrives or Linnea is ready. She's taking on the weight of the ring and the secret with everything she's got. Laslo watches from the shadows and notices the change. The woman who once wanted to die alone in a burning mansion now has a visible will to live. He's relieved and hopeful that she'll continue to like the life he's provided for her. Edele reflects on her growth. She's finally stopped being ashamed of receiving help. She admits she's always needed someone like Laslo. She's done running, and she's ready to build a real life in this manner. She decides to rewrite the reports and take her new role seriously. A few days later, the atmosphere in the manor is electric.
The entire staff is granted a rare holiday, something they never thought they'd see.
The servants are in shock, whispering that the masters will be away for a few days too.
They are happy and relieved, expressing their hope to keep working under such fair leadership forever.
The manor is finally a home for everyone. Edele takes a quiet moment at her window. She feels the literal and figurative weight of the secret Laslo shared. It's a great responsibility that is even heavier than the signet ring on her finger. Edele writes a heartfelt letter to Marchioness Barbara Celestine. She expresses how much she has missed her and vows to find a way to make up for the time they spent apart. The letter is signed with Laslo Christus's seal, marking a new connection between the two houses. The emotional dam finally breaks. Edele and Dowager Marchioness Barbara share a tearful reunion, embracing like no time has passed.
They've both longed for this moment through all the trauma and separation, and the relief in the air is palpable.
Barbara can't believe everything Edele has been through. She knows how much her precious friend has suffered. Edele finally shares the news of her new career path, explaining that the laundry room was just the beginning. And that's how I became the butler. Barbara is stunned. She calls Count Laslo an unpredictable man, noting that this kind of appointment is virtually unheard of in any other noble family. Our girl just shattered the imperial glass ceiling. Edele points out the irony. Not only is she a convicted sinner, but she is the only woman in the empire serving as a butler.
It is a position of immense power and responsibility, and Barbara realizes just how much Laslo must trust her.
Barbara gives the Count credit where it is due. She notes he has a good eye for people because he didn't turn away a capable person like Edele just because of her past. He found real talent where everyone else saw only a scandal. Reflections on the past hit hard.
Barbara reminds Edele that it's only natural to want to do better and reclaim her rights.
Edele remembers being sold off by her family, but seeing Barbara look at her with the same respect as before gives her the strength to keep fighting. Edele admits that the House of Christus has no foundation and she can't build it alone. She finally swallows her pride and asks Barbara for help. The student is officially asking the master for a lesson in social maneuvering. Barbara couldn't be happier to help. She's been waiting for the day Edele would lean on her again. They share a moment of true friendship that is worth more than any noble title or gold coin. Edele gets down to the business of manor management. She needs to secure business connections to keep the estate running. It is time to prove that she is just as good with ledgers as she was with laundry baskets. The Canyon family shadow is long. Edele explains that it's difficult to do business with any shop that has ties to her father's county. People are scared of the fallout, so she needs Barbara to bridge the gap with some trustworthy people. The meeting has to end, but Edele mentions the portrait Laslo promised to send. Barbara laughs, guessing the Count might have been too busy to follow through. Little do they know, he's probably staring at it in his office right now. The departure is handled like a spy movie. Laslo's men successfully lured away the people tailing Barbara's carriage. The Count is protecting this alliance from the shadows, proving he's more than just a brute with a sword.
Barbara is making a blood oath.
She vows to clear Edele's name so she is no longer a topic of gossip. She wants to free her from her sinner status and bring her into the care of House Celestine eventually. Enter the villain, Isaac Windblair. He's fuming because he just found out Barbara was spotted near the Christus estate. He suspects the lowly bastard Laslo has joined hands with House Celestine to challenge his power. Windblair doesn't see any advantage for Barbara in joining the Emperor's faction.
He notes that Laslo has Idle Canyon on a leash, and starts wondering what her father, Dustin, is up to.
The political chessboard is getting very crowded. Windblair orders an investigation into the Canyon family. He knows Dustin Canyon doesn't care about his daughter, but he'll snatch any chance for profit. He senses a political shift coming and he is not about to be left behind. A major new player arrives at the Windblair estate, His Highness, Leandro. He is being introduced as a card to replace the Emperor. He is handsome, mysterious, and looks like he is ready to set the whole empire on fire. Back at the manor, Edele drops an invite to a famous art gallery. Laslo and Linnea are both completely ignorant and terrified of looking stupid. Laslo even tries to bribe Edele into taking Nathan instead so he won't be embarrassed. Edele isn't hearing the excuses. She tells the Count that art knowledge is a necessary social grace for high society. Laslo is pouting like a kid, and Edele is standing her ground. He's going to that gallery whether he likes it or not. Comical misunderstanding alert. Edele suggests they go together next time because he's busy, but Laslo takes it to mean he is a hindrance to her viewing.
He's internally crying while Linnea is just hyped to learn new things.
He is the Emperor's fiercest warrior, but a conversation about art has him completely defeated. Get ready, Count, because Butler Edele is about to turn you into a man of culture. Edele and Lady Linnea make their grand entrance at the Otis Gallery. But the atmosphere is anything but welcoming. As they walk in, the room is already buzzing with whispers. The highborn vultures recognize Edele immediately as the disgraced daughter of House Lancaster, and the side eyes are coming from every direction. Among the whisperers is Angela Bliss, and she is taking notes. She can't help but notice that despite being a sinner, Edele is being treated like royalty by the Chrysos family. The irony isn't lost on her. The fallen Duchess is currently living a better life than many of the nobles who look down on her. Angela reveals her own secret struggle. As the daughter of a second son, she is facing a future of county-leaving poverty unless she lands a power marriage soon. She is desperate, and desperation in this series usually leads to some major villain energy. Angela sets her sights on the ultimate prize, Count Laslo Chrysos. He's rich, he's young, and he's suddenly the handsomest man in the capital. She's decided she will capture him, even if she has to overlook his mercenary past. Watch out, Edele, you've got a serious social climbing rival. Inside the gallery, Edele pulls a massive power move. She produces an entire checkbook entrusted to her by Laslo. The staff is absolutely floored that the Count would give a maid that kind of financial freedom. It is proof that in the Chrysos house, Edele is the one who holds the strings. Edele isn't just there to browse, she's there to buy. Using a recommendation letter from the Dowager Marchioness, she secures the right to reserve exclusive pieces before anyone else. She is moving through the gallery with total Duchess-level authority, and I am here for it. Linnea is struggling to keep up. She admits that no matter how hard she looks, she can't tell what makes a painting good. She's feeling that classic new money anxiety of not belonging in a world of highbrow art. Poor girl is just trying her best to stay refined. Edele steps in as the ultimate art mentor. She tells Linnea that appreciation doesn't have to be difficult, it's about finding pieces that fit the space they live in. She's turning a complex social ritual into a simple lesson on interior design, and Linnea is finally starting to get it. To honor Laslo's military background, Edele chooses a painting of a war victory. She notes that while these themes are going out of style, it's worth hanging one for a man who is a literal war hero.
It's a subtle nod to the man who gave them this new life, and it shows how much she's thinking about his feelings.
Edele reveals her final choice, a painting that spoke to her despite the artist being totally unknown.
Linnea encourages her to trust her gut, realizing that Edele's taste is the foundation of the Chrysos estate's new image.
The confidence Edele has in her own eyes is infectious. Edele describes the piece as a symbol of budding hope and the trajectory of light. It's a perfect metaphor for their household right now. She's finally feeling that her life has a direction other than down, and the optimism is absolutely glowing on her face. The piece is shattered in an instant. Edele is spotted by her own biological mother and brother from House Canyon.
These opportunistic vultures are always lurking, and seeing Edele out in public is like blood in the water for them.
Word reaches the man himself, Count Canyon. He reflects on how he previously saw Edele as a failed investment after the Lancaster house fell. He basically admits he threw her away because she wasn't bringing in any profit anymore. Talk about Father of the Year sarcasm. The Kenyans are lapping up the rumors that Edele is Laslo's mistress.
Instead of being offended, they think it's great because it means she has secured her position. They realize she might have some use left in her after all.
These people are literal social leeches. They've already cut ties with her, but they don't care about their reputation as much as they care about money. Canyon decides that if Edele can lead them to profit, they'll snatch her back up in a heartbeat.
It's a cold-blooded calculation that shows exactly what kind of hell Edele escaped from.
The Count orders his eldest son, William, to put a professional tail on Edele. He demands a spy good enough to evade Laslo's mercenaries. He's picking on his son to stand on his own feet while planning to use his daughter as a human shield for his next scheme. Kenyon is determined to re-establish his family name for William's sake. He views Edele as a tool to be bestowed with another role to benefit his son.
The cliffhanger is real as we realize Edele's biggest threats might not be the Imperial Palace, but her own flesh and blood.
Count Kenyon's cold ambition is on full display. He watches from a distance, deciding to exploit the woman who was once his daughter, Edele, to secure a prosperous future for his son. To him, she is no longer a child but a tool for House Canyon's restoration. Night falls, and Edele is haunted by a dream of her younger sister, Lynn. She searches frantically through a hazy landscape, but the girl remains unreachable.
Even in her sleep, Edele feels the crushing weight of loss, realizing she cannot truly reunite with her sister even in her own mind.
The dream shifts to a rare childhood trip to an art museum. Edele recalls how her mother put on a public performance of being a devoted parent, telling the girls to hold her hand tightly so they wouldn't get lost. It was a scene carefully crafted for the eyes of others.
Edele remembers being happy even if the outing was just a show. High society ladies praised her mother's dedication to her daughter's cultural lessons, but Edele knew the truth.
These outings were strategic moves designed to ensure profitable marriages for the Canyon daughters. Even if unloved, parents are a child's everything. Edele reflects on how children view their parents as their entire world, even when they are being used as social props.
She wonders if her recent visit to the Otis Gallery triggered these painful, bittersweet memories.
Awakening with a heavy heart, Edele is filled with regret.
She blames herself for not being a better older sister to Lynn and wonders what her sister in the dream was trying to tell her.
The grief of the past is still a constant companion in her new life. Shaking off the dream, Edele returns to her professional duties. She presents Count Laslo with financial documents regarding special holiday allowances for the servants. She's determined to manage the House of Chrysis with the precision of a true butler. Laslo reviews the invoices with a sharp eye and stops on one specific line. He flags Edele's own allowance, claiming something about the amount seems very strange.
Edele is startled, wondering if she made a calculation error.
Laslo tells her the allowance she's supposed to receive is too low for someone in her position. He scoffs at the 400 lington figure and immediately orders it to be changed to 1,000 lington. Edele tries to protest, but the mercenary king is not taking no for an answer. Laslo challenges Edele to live a little more greedily. He dismisses her lack of need for the money, stating she might need it while serving as his butler. He's essentially forcing her to accept a better life, one coin at a time. The surprises continue as Laslo produces a small, elegant box. He admits he had a feeling she would refuse more money, so he prepared a different reward. Edele looks on in shock as he reveals a stunning pair of diamond earrings. Edele is overwhelmed by the extravagance of the jewels. She tells him they are too much, but Laslo's face turns serious. He tells her it actually hurts him when she refuses his gestures of gratitude so strongly. Laslo insists it is just a token of his gratitude for her hard work. Edele finds herself unable to argue further, realizing that her refusal is making him look bad in his own office. The dynamic between them is shifting into something much more personal. Edele finally accepts the earrings for now. Laslo is visibly relieved, his complexion improving as the tension leaves his body. He dismisses her to rest, finally ending the intense encounter. Once he is alone, the Count's cool facade crumbles.
He collapses onto his seat and calls himself an idiot. He is frustrated by his own lack of courage to tell her the real reason he bought the jewels.
Laslo confesses the truth to himself. He didn't buy them as a mere reward.
He bought them because Edele has been appearing in his mind constantly.
He remembers the image of her beautifully adorned at a party years ago and wants to see that smile again.
He laments that he can't even say these things to her face.
He wonders if the day will ever come when she wears those earrings in front of him.
The mercenary king is officially a man in the throes of unrequited longing. Elsewhere, a disgraced Masha Bowen is wandering the streets in a daze. She is muttering about wicked people and her desperate desire for revenge. She blames Edele for everything she lost and is spiraling into madness. Masha's spiral is interrupted when a mysterious stranger finds her. She is terrified, assuming he was sent by Count Laslo to finish her off. But the man tells her not to be surprised, he isn't there to harm her. The stranger makes a chilling declaration, he is an enemy of the Count. He offers Masha a chance to take their revenge together. A dangerous alliance is forming in the dark corners of the capital. Back at the manor, a sudden chill washes over Edele.
She realizes she was so distracted by the earrings and the Count's kindness that she forgot her primary mission.
She has yet to report a difficult marriage proposal that has arrived for him. A mysterious letter arrives at the Laslo's estate, and you just know it's going to be trouble. A few days later, Viscountess Maya Bethinon shows up for a formal visit. She's using her connection to Count Erwin to gain entry into the manor, and honestly, the sheer audacity is already giving me a headache. Laslo isn't thrilled. He usually avoids the house of Bethinon, but the Emperor's orders to maintain friendly ties with Count Erwin make this meeting mandatory.
He's sitting there looking stoic while wondering what this woman actually wants.
Let the social games begin. Maya doesn't beat around the bush. She immediately starts questioning Count Laslo about his age, specifically, that he's 28 this year. She's looking at him like a piece of prize cattle, and Laslo is just trying to survive the interrogation without drawing his sword. The questions get personal. She asks if he's still unmarried and then probes to see if he has any secret past wives. She even asks if he's seeing anyone special in private. Laslo's cold he has not and he is not responses are peak Ice Count energy. Maya drops the bomb, she has a formal marriage proposal from the family of Lord Gregory, the second son of Count Bliss. She's gushing about his very pretty and lovely daughter, acting like she's doing Laslo a massive favor. It's the ultimate social trap. Maya stops talking mid-sentence when she sees Edele.
Laslo turns to Edele, who has to remind him that she actually delivered the letter about this days ago. Laslo admits he thought it was a joke because someone would send a proxy instead of coming themselves.
The Viscountess gets nasty. She pointedly says the butler of this house should understand the value of such a match. She's comparing Edele's own history of being sold off to an old dupe to emphasize why Count Bliss is such an upgrade. The shade is absolutely toxic. Laslo has heard enough. He coldly declares that he considers everything she's said to be unheard. He tells her he saw more than enough of Angela Bliss at the last party and doesn't need to find out more. He is basically shredding the marriage proposal in front of her face.
Maya is insulted and furious. She asks if he's confident he won't regret this, but Laslo just tells her it's no concern of yours. He demands she convey his intentions clearly and basically kicks her out of the manor.
As she stomps away, Maya calls him a rude and thoughtless person. Laslo turns to Edele and asks what she thinks of his decision.
Edele, being the professional butler, says she doesn't have an answer because he is the head of the family. Laslo reaffirms his choice. He won't regret rejecting them because he refuses to talk to anyone who tormented Linnea. Family loyalty over political gain, our mercenary king has his priorities straight. Power upgrade for Edele. Laslo instructs her to reject these kinds of matters at her own discretion from now on.
He despises wastes of time, and Edele feels a wave of relief that her boss hates high society small talk just as much as she does.
Edele realizes that finding a partner for Laslo will have to happen through a different method than the social circle.
Laslo asks her to prepare some new tea and invites her to join him. He wants to see if the tea Linnea was boasting about is actually the best. Laslo is actually being soft.
When Edele suggests bringing Linnea along, he panics and says there's no need for that. The guy just wants a private moment with his butler, and it is honestly adorable to watch this warrior get flustered.
The mood shifts to a dark, rainy night. Something ominous is happening in the shadows of the capital. We see a mysterious figure in a cloak entering a high-security area. The vice commander of the Imperial Knights is making a move. Meet the conspirators.
Edmund Milton, vice commander of the Knights, is meeting with a powerful excellency. They are discussing their mutual hatred for Count Chrysos, and the air is thick with betrayal.
Edmund asks the Excellency if he finds the Emperor's hunting dog to be an eyesore. The Excellency laughs, saying the mud is more of an eyesore to Edmund than to him. They are plotting to take Laslo down because he's a commoner favored by the throne. Edmund claims he's not concerned with the captain's position, but he is worried that a mud has become the Emperor's closest aide. He sees Laslo's rise as a grave matter that threatens the established noble order. Edmund is disappointed in the Emperor's judgment for favoring commoners. The Excellency understands his intentions and prepares to ask one more thing. The conspiracy to punish Laslo and Edele is officially moving into high gear. Edmund Milton is ready to become the sword that restores the Empire's traditional order.
He's swearing on his blue blood that he will destroy those who disrupt the nobility.
The target is on Laslo's back, and the danger is closer than they think.
Training for the day finally concludes. Count Laslo gives the order for everyone to clean up and wrap it up, but he isn't sticking around to supervise. He's already heading for the exit before his men can even put their swords away. The knights are left in the dust, noting just how fast their commander is moving today.
One of them jokingly wonders if he left a treasure chest at home.
They can't help but notice he looks almost excited to leave the grounds, which is a total 180 from his usual stoic self. The men discuss how training was brutal at first, but now they're finally at the point where they don't pass out.
They realize the normally terrifying commander has been in a much better mood lately, and is far less scary than before.
Something good has definitely happened to him. Back at the manor, Edele is already waiting with tea. She welcomes Laslo back, telling him he's worked hard again today. This has become their new daily ritual, sharing a quiet moment before diving into the mountain of household paperwork. Laslo returns the compliment, telling Edele that she, as the one handling the affairs of the house, has worked even harder.
He encourages her to keep doing her best with the remaining work.
The mutual respect between them is growing over every cup of tea they share. Laslo reflects on this new routine. Even though it's only for a short while as he reviews documents, he finds these tea sessions with Edele to be the most fulfilling part of his entire day. It's a rare sanctuary of peace for the man who grew up in the noise of war. Edele asks if today's tea suits his palate.
Laslo admits the aroma is excellent, and Edele is visibly glad that she could find something he actually enjoys.
They are slowly learning each other's tastes, one sip at a time. Laslo has learned that tea, like people, has a massive variety of flavors and types.
He realizes that some things can only be seen after you've experienced them, and you can find a presence that truly brightens your heart.
Our mercenary king is getting low-key poetic. The peace is shattered when Lady Linnea bursts in.
She catches them hanging out without her again and is not happy about being left out of the loop.
She's pouting like a kid, and the domestic vibe in the room just went from romantic to chaotic in 5 seconds. Laslo tries to maintain his professional facade, telling her they are working, not hanging out. Linnea explains she came back early because something urgent came up at the bring-in estate for her friend Jeremiah. She wasn't about to spend her day off alone. Linnea demands a cup of tea too and tells her brother to stop ignoring her. She playfully teases him, saying that if she can make friends after all this time, he should go out and make some of his own too. Laslo just tells her to sit down and drink her tea. Linnea occasionally catches Laslo off guard with her bluntness.
He knows he needs to expand his social circle for the family's sake, but for just a little longer, he wants to enjoy this simple time spent with his family and Edele.
The next day at the palace, a new player enters the game. Edmund Milton is formally introduced as the new vice commander of the Royal Guard. He's a former Imperial Knight with the support of many powerful nobles, and he is coming in with a massive ego. Milton puts on a polite act, telling the men he looks forward to working with them. But Laslo is immediately suspicious. He knows Milton is an unpleasant bastard who only got the job through political recommendations after the previous guy was dismissed in a scandal. Laslo stays on guard during the introductions.
He is particularly bothered by Milton's snake-like eyes. While everyone else seems impressed by the new appointee, Laslo's mercenary instincts are screaming that this man is a major threat.
Milton plays the humble servant for the Emperor. He claims he is merely there to share the burden that Count Laslo has been carrying all alone. The Emperor calls the vow worthy of a knight, but you can tell Milton is just reciting a script. The Emperor continues to tease Laslo, telling him to learn from Milton's humble inner self. He jokes that a splendid appearance is useless if the inside doesn't match. Laslo just rolls his eyes, knowing his inner self is way too battle-hardened for noble etiquette. The Emperor is being unusually friendly with Laslo, treating him like a close younger brother. He even boasts that his own face shines brighter when he stands next to handsome young men like Laslo and Milton. He notes the servants are obsessed with Laslo's new look. Milton is internally seething at the display of closeness. He mocks Laslo as a mutt who has managed to become the Emperor's closest aide. He believes the Marquis of Windblair was right, the traditional noble laws are crumbling because of commoners like Croesus. Milton is already mapping out his plan to remove Laslo from the palace. He's perfectly memorizing the geography to make swift judgments later. He wants to take the commander position for himself and ensure there is no place for the likes of you in the future empire. Milton runs into Viscount Bringin and switches back to his nice guy facade. They reminisce about a pleasant chat at a past party, and Milton uses the opening to launch his first social attack. He's planting the seeds for a major social event that will put Laslo in the spotlight.
Milton maliciously suggests that it would be wonderful for Count Laslo to host a grand party.
He wants to see the mercenary struggle with hosting high society. He is determined to expose Laslo's pathetic side to the entire nobility and crush his reputation for good. Edmund Milton is officially playing dirty.
He meets with the disgruntled Marcia, who is more than happy to spit venom about Edele Lancaster.
She claims Edele is a wicked woman who used her beauty to become a mercenary's mistress just to kick Marcia out. Marcia continues her rant, complaining that Edele lacks any noble pride and has run wild since taking over the household. She acts like a victim of a savage takeover, but Edmund sees exactly what he needs, a scandal to smother his rival. Sensing an opportunity, Edmund decides to buy that information. He promises to install Marcia as a maid in a prominent noble house on one condition: she must spread this rumor to everyone she meets. He wants to poison the social well before Laslo even knows what's happening. Edmund's plan is simple but lethal. He wants to control where the rumor flows. By using Marcia's mouth to feed the noble guests, he hopes to bury the Crixus reputation under a mountain of disgrace. The trap is set, and the stage is almost ready. Back at the manor, Count Laslo surprises everyone by suggesting it's finally time to host a party.
He's thinking a simple dinner, but Edele immediately clocks the reality.
She points out that inviting people from the capital for a simple meal is actually a formal banquet requiring massive preparation.
Laslo realizes he was being a bit too hasty and apologizes.
But Edele doesn't want him to cancel.
She encourages him to use this as a chance to prove the Crixus family's standing and show the Emperor's faction exactly what they are capable of.
Edele takes the lead and starts dropping numbers. She proposes a banquet in early October with a guest list of 150 people. Laslo is stunned by her immediate calculations. He has no idea his butler used to run grand events for the Duchy of Lancaster.
For the first time in years, Edele feels genuine joy in her work.
She wants to see the mansion she worked so hard to redecorate filled with life and guests. It's not just a job anymore, it's a passion project, and she's ready to show off her new home. Laslo is all in. He resolves to support Edele so she can work to her heart's content. The two head to the office and start drafting the formal guest list together. They are a professional powerhouse, and the capital has no idea what's coming. As the invitations start circulating, high society is absolutely set ablaze. Everyone is gossiping about the reclusive mercenary count finally opening his doors. The anticipation is building, and every noble lady in the capital is trying to score an invite. At a local tea party, the ladies are already judging. They're debating whether Laslo has invited enough prestigious guests to actually raise his status. They're looking for any excuse to mock the newcomers, unaware that Edele has already curated the perfect elite list. Angela Bliss enters the chat and drops a bombshell on her friends. She has fallen in love with the handsome Count. Her social circle immediately pledges their help to secure the match. They believe his mercenary roots are irrelevant as long as his fortune and title are secure. Angela is privately planning a hostile takeover. She resolves to marry Laslo and take control of the household. Her first order of business as the new lady? Sending Linnea far away so she doesn't have to deal with a sister-in-law. To keep her allies loyal, Angela distributes expensive, fragrant black tea as gifts.
While they enjoy the aroma, she subtly brings up the sinner living at the Crixus Manor.
She's planting seeds of doubt while looking like a gracious angel. The gossip that Edele has become the Count's mistress spreads like wildfire through the tea parties. The nobility is lapping up the scandal, exactly as Edmund Milton intended. Edele's reputation is being shredded before she even greets her first guest. Meanwhile, the Canyon family is busy plotting their own heist. Edele's father and brother believe they can demand a massive repayment for her upbringing. They view her as a cash cow and are preparing to squeeze every penny out of her new position. Back in the carriage, the Canyon sons are discussing how to use Edele to restore their family's wealth. They have zero affection for her, only a cold desire for profit. Edele is being hunted by the very people who should have protected her. The fragrance of the gift tea fills the room, and everyone is impressed.
Angela smiles, knowing her gifts will buy the silence and support she needs for her social climb.
She's playing a long game, and Edele is her biggest obstacle. Angela reflects on how being an older sister is a thankless position. She tells Viscountess Emerson that she's worried about a rumor she heard. She's making it look like she's sharing a secret out of concern, but it's a calculated strike. You know that sinner at the Crixus mansion? Angela whispers the rumor that Edele has become Laslo's mistress. The poison is officially in the system, and Edele will have to fight not just for the banquet's success